All right, let's talk about something that's changing, well, pretty much everything. It's a revolution, but it's not happening in the streets. It's happening right in your pocket. I'm talking about this massive, incredibly fast shift away from physical cash and toward a world that's all digital.
Okay, quick question for you, and be honest. What's in your wallet right now? Come on, take a look. I'm willing to bet it's mostly plastic, right? Maybe a lonely bill tucked away in there. It's just a fact of life now. We're all carrying way less cash than we used to. And there's some really clear reasons for it.
All right, so let's get right into it. How did this happen so fast? Why have digital payments basically taken over our lives? Let's start with the good stuff, the benefits that are pretty much impossible to argue with.
You know, the number one reason, the big one, is just pure, simple convenience. I mean, think about it. We're done with digging around for exact change, right? Or carrying around a thick, clunky wallet stuffed with paper. Now you just have your phone or a card and boom, every payment is just smooth.
And it's not just easy, it's crazy fast. I mean, a simple tap to pay at the register, it takes, what, a second? Now compare that to the old way. Counting out the bills, waiting for the cashier to count out your change, making sure it's all correct. Seriously, it's not even a competition.
And this convenience, it's really woven into the fabric of our lives now. You want to split a dinner bill with a friend? Bam! An app like PayPal, done in seconds. You want to see where all your money's going? Something like Google Wallet tracks every single coffee you buy. And maybe the biggest one, you don't have to worry about losing a wallet full of cash or getting it stolen. It's a genuine lifestyle upgrade for sure.
But, yeah, you knew there was a but coming, right? For all this awesome convenience, there's a flip side. There's a hidden cost to every single tap, every single click, and it's a cost we usually don't even see until it's way too late.
So here's the thing. When we move our money online, we're also moving all the risks online too. Let's really dig into some of these hidden dangers that come along for the ride when your financial life is completely digital.
So, the whole idea of risk has totally changed. It used to be you were worried about a pickpocket on a crowded street. Now you have to worry about a hacker who could be thousands of miles away. A perfect example was back in 2022. There were these super clever phishing attacks that tricked people into giving up their login info, and boom, millions of dollars were just siphoned right out of their digital wallets.
So yeah, we've gotten rid of one kind of risk, but we've basically opened the door to a whole bunch of new ones. Every time you pay for something, you leave behind this little digital trail. A trail that companies like Visa and Amazon are, let's just say, very interested in analyzing. And what about our total dependence on tech? Your phone battery dies, the internet is out, guess what? You can't access your money, you're just stuck.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. This is bigger than just your own wallet. This whole shift, it's not just changing how you buy a cup of coffee. It's literally reshaping our entire society. And that means creating some amazing new opportunities and some really tough new challenges.
So on the one hand, you have these incredible success stories. Take a look at Kenya. For a lot of people in rural areas, traditional banks just weren't an option. Then along comes M-Pesa, this mobile money service, and now over 70% of the population uses it. It's given millions of people access to savings, to credit, things they never have before. It's a total game changer.
But here's the catch. To get in on this new system, you've got to have a smartphone, and you've got to have decent internet. And if you don't, well, you're left out. It creates this brand new barrier, a digital divide, that can actually push the most vulnerable people even further to the margins.
And check this out. This is a fascinating little piece of psychology. When money becomes invisible, when it's just a tap or a click, we spend more of it. I mean, it's wild. Study after study shows we spend somewhere around 12 to 18% more when we pay with plastic or a phone. Why? Because it just doesn't feel as real as physically handing over your hard-earned cash.
So as you can see, this isn't just a simple case of new tech is better than old tech. This whole digital shift has sparked this huge debate. A debate about what money even is anymore and what we want it to be in the future.
And it really boils down to two totally different ways of looking at it. On one side, you have the supporters who say, look, digital is just progress. It's more efficient, it sparks innovation, and hey, we don't have to print all that cash. But then the other side says, hold on, cash is freedom. It's anonymous, it's tangible, it works everywhere, and you don't need a big tech company or even a Wi-Fi signal to use it.
You see this attitude really strong in places like Germany, where people still have a deep cultural trust in physical money.
So, what does this all mean for you and me? Well, the digital wave isn't stopping, that's for sure. So the most important thing, really, is to figure out how to ride it safely, how to protect yourself in this new digital world.
Okay, so let's wrap up with some super practical must-do advice. Think of this as your digital safety starter pack. First, use strong passwords, and I mean different ones for different sites. Mix it all up. Second, always turn on two-factor authentication. It's a lifesaver. Third, and this is a big one, avoid making payments on public Wi-Fi. Just don't do it. And finally, keep your apps updated and glance at your bank statements regularly. It's just basic digital hygiene, but it's so important.
So at the end of the day, it's not really about whether digital is good and cash is bad. It's simpler than that. The world is changing. This cashless revolution is handing us amazing convenience on one hand and some serious new responsibilities on the other. And look, the shift itself feels pretty unstoppable, but if you're informed, if you're prepared, you can get all the benefits while dodging most of the risks. So the only question left is, the future is clearly digital. Are you ready for it? Let's dive into something we all think about, probably every day. It's that choice that happens right in our pockets. The great divide between good old-fashioned cash and the world of digital payments. It seems like a simple thing, but it's a decision that's really changing everything. It's such a basic question, isn't it? When you're at the checkout, what do you reach for? A banknote or your phone? But you know, this goes way deeper than just convenience. We're actually talking about privacy, security, and really our place in the whole economy. So to really get our heads around this whole debate, we're going to follow two people who are living on opposite ends of this spectrum. Let's call them our financial champions. You'll see they live in two completely different financial worlds. So on one side, we've got Layla. She's 27, she works in marketing, and her smartphone is basically her wallet. Then on the other side, there's Ahmed. He's a 50-year-old shop owner, and for him, money you can't hold isn't real money. Looking through their eyes, we're going to see the real-world pros and cons of each way of life. Leela's world is full of people like Noor, a university student. For her, and honestly for millions of others, the logic is just simple. Digital is just easier. It's super fast, it's efficient, and it folds right into the device that pretty much runs her entire life. I mean, why would you carry a wallet when your phone does it all? But then you've got this other perspective from someone like Hassan, a trader at a market. His view gets right to the heart of the other side. For him, it's simple. Cash is king. This is all about trust, you know. It's simple and it works for his customers who maybe aren't ready or just don't want to go all in on digital. Okay, so let's actually step into Layla's shoes for a day. Let's see what living life in the completely digital lane really looks like. So Layla's day is just seamless. That morning coffee is just a quick tap of her phone. An urgent trip for work comes up, no problem at all. The payment's done instantly through her banking app. And here's the best part. She actually gets rewarded for it, earning a sweet 10% discount on her shopping just for using the app. It's fast, it's convenient, and it's even saving her money.
But all of this convenience, it comes with a catch, one you don't always see. Every single tap, every transaction, it leaves a little trace, a permanent digital footprint of her life.
And those risks, they are very real. You've got cybersecurity worries, like phishing scams and straight-up hacks. All that data on her spending habits can be tracked and used for marketing. And then there's just the simple fact of tech dependency. If her phone battery dies or the internet goes out, well, she's suddenly got no money. Plus, if she ever wanders into a traditional market, she might find that not everyone takes digital, leaving her totally unable to pay. Okay, so now let's switch gears. Let's go visit our other champion, Ahmed. In his world, the sound of a good sale isn't a digital beep, it's the rustle of a banknote. So welcome to the kingdom of cash. This number tells a whole story in one moment. A customer wanted to buy 500 riyals worth of stuff. A great sale, but they only had Apple Pay. Ahmed, sticking to his cash-only rule, had to say no. He kept his principles, sure, but he lost the sale. It's the perfect snapshot of the trade-off he makes every single day. If you were to make a balance sheet for Ahmed's cash-only approach, it'd be pretty clear. On the plus side, he has total control over his money. No transaction fees, it's simple, it always works, and he has absolute privacy. But the downsides are pretty big too. He's losing those tech-savvy customers, and dealing with suppliers who might only accept digital payments is a huge pain. Plus, there's always the risk of theft or just losing cash, and it's way harder to keep track of everything you're spending.
So the stories of Layla and Ahmed really show us what's at stake on a personal level. So now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Let's see how this whole fight between convenience and control is playing out across the globe.
And you know, Ahmed's obsession with privacy, it's not just him. Check this out. In Germany, a major modern economy, a whopping 60% of people still prefer using cash. And their main reason? Privacy. It just goes to show that wanting to keep your financial life to yourself is still a really powerful feeling for a lot of people around the world.
When you boil it all down, this is what the whole debate is about. The digital promise is all about three things: speed, convenience, and data. On the other side, the comfort you get from cash is about three different things: simplicity, privacy, and control.
So after all that, it really comes back to you. We've seen Layla's digital world and Ahmed's kingdom of cash. You've seen the good parts and the bad parts of both. So where do you stand? Are you Team Layla, ready to jump into the digital future? Or are you Team Ahmed, holding on tight to the control and privacy that cash gives you? The choice, for now anyway, is still right there in your pocket.